Now is the time to not unplug and give up on crypto, guys. Please don't give up. If this is your first bear market, do not unplug. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into some chart analysis with some of my other favorite cryptos. But we're going to start off with Bitcoin first, and then we're going to get into Kadena Azero Solana Glch protocol. Should be an interesting video. Going to keep it real short and sweet and to the point because that's how I roll. All right. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and let's get right into it. All right, now taking a look at Bitcoin, we can see that Bitcoin is breaking this 100-day simple moving average on the weekly. All right, we expected this to happen, right? Since that November top, we've just been in a downtrend. All right, and in the downtrend, you have spikes up, right? So downtrend, spikes up, down, spike up, down, or spike up or relief rally, however you want to phrase it. All right, and we can see that on this Bollinger Band, we're still under the median of the Bollinger Band, so that's bearish, guys. So I'm expecting Bitcoin to continue to dump. All right, now long term, if we take a look at the log scale on Bitcoin, we can see here, let's see on the 2 week. Let's see on the 2 week. See if we can go on the 2 week on the log scale, right? On the 2 week log scale for Bitcoin, you can see here that this 50 SMA held. It held since March. It held, and now we're breaking that. So this 50 SMA on the log scale here, this is the green line. See this green line here? It goes here, here, and we're breaking that, right? Now, historically, after Bitcoin has a blow off top or reaches his all-time high for that bull cycle, he tends to always come back and retest this blue line here, this 100-day simple moving average, right? Check it out here. December 2017, we hit 20K. It took us, how long did it take us? It took us literally 427 days to bottom out. Yeah, that's literally how long it took. Now you can take a few weeks off of that because we did test 3K a few times before we bounced, right? So for about 2 months, we traded around 3K, between 3 and 4K, before we continue to climb higher, right, and break above the 50 SMA. All right, so you can see here, let's see, yeah, now let's do, I think this is the markup I was looking for, right? 427 days, right? And then we had a second top back in June 2019, where we ran up from 3K, we ran up to, let's say, around 13K. And then we had the COVID crash. Sometimes I think, what if COVID didn't happen? Would the bull market have started sooner? I think that might have been the case. But in any event, we did come back down and touch the 100-day simple moving average. And actually, we dumped a little bit lower than that. Okay. So instead of us bouncing off of 5,521, 5,500, we actually came down to about 3K. So that was 266 days. It's really hard to calculate this area here because COVID happened, right? Sometimes I think that if COVID didn't happen, then we potentially would have reached our all-time high a little bit sooner, right? And Bitcoin would have topped out much sooner. All right. I think this move here was due to many things: market recovery in the legacy markets and in crypto, and a lot of exuberance in the market and fears of inflation and all of those things that made us have this crazy parabolic pump on Bitcoin. All right. So if you look at it now from our all-time high, we've been in a bear market for 168 days approximately. Okay. So what a lot of people are doing is they're back testing and seeing how long Bitcoin was in a bear market previously, right after its all-time high from a bull market. So we can see here back in 2013 when Bitcoin had run up from under $100 to $1,000, it took it 630 days to actually recover. So it crashed from $1,100 all the way down to 175. 630 days, right? And then we went on a 840-day bull run. Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Essentially, that was essentially like a 800-day bull market for Bitcoin from 2015 to the 2019 or 2017 ATH. All right. So very interesting here. All right. Very interesting what's going on with Bitcoin. But that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin tests this $22,000 area before we start to recover and find the bottom, right? So that we can get the start of the next bull market going. All right. So that's what's going on with BTC. I'm expecting more pain, and I'm expecting Bitcoin to head lower. A lot of people are calling for a 30K Bitcoin, a 20K Bitcoin, a 15K Bitcoin. We'll see how this plays out. All right. So my worst case scenario is a 23K Bitcoin. And should that not hold, then 20K and price targets lower than 20K for Bitcoin are definitely in play. All right. Now let's take a look at Kadena. We can see here on Kadena, we don't really have support on Kadena until about $2.50. Like, that's where I see Kadena headed. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound good, and I don't like to say it, but this is the reality we're looking at right now. And should that not hold, we could see a $1.20 Kadena. It's totally possible, guys. Totally possible. I think there's more pain ahead before crypto gets better. It's a risk on asset, and right now, risk on assets are not hot. All right. What's hot is cash. Cash is what's hot right now. All right. So what I'm doing and how I'm playing this is I am continuously buying USDT on Coinbase, right? Because that USDT, the amount of USDT that I'm buying, it needs days to clear. So I'm just stocking up on USDT so that I can pounce on the market, and I can send that USDT to whatever exchange, KuCoin, for example, whatever exchange that is, okay, to buy the cryptos that I want to buy for the next bull run. Because now is the time to not unplug and give up on crypto, guys. Please don't give up. If this is your first bear market, do not unplug. All right. Hopefully you learned about taking profits, holding your cryptos, and what comes with that, you know, versus taking profits. And you're also maybe learning the importance of how it is you want to interact with this market, and if you should, you know, what the benefits are with being a long-term holder versus you know, a swing trader. For example, I like to do both. I like to have a long-term portfolio, and then I like to have funds for trades and short-term cryptos. All right. So yeah, like I said here, I can see Kadena definitely breaking down to under $3, right? And potentially worst case down to the $1 area. Now, I think there's going to be a lot of buy pressure in these areas. All right. So just because they hit those targets don't mean that it's going to stay there forever. All right. of course, we don't know how long this market is going to last, right? Bear market. We're just speculating right now, right? But I think that between this area here, right, between 150 and $3, I think there would be a lot of accumulation. And if things get really bad, then we could definitely see price targets of under $1. All right, guys, this, as much as we like these cryptos and the technology is awesome, you know, this is software. This is awesome software. In a bear market, that doesn't mean that they're gonna hold their own to the level you think that they will, right? Bitcoin pulls the market both ways, you know? So those are my price targets for Kadena. And let's take a look at Azero. I'm pulling up the Azero chart from gate.io because I can't seem to pull up the chart for Azero in oh man, the other exchange that it's on, MEXC, unless I switch over to MEXC, which I'm not going to do that for this video here. So if we take a look at Azero here, we can see not a lot of chart data because it hasn't been around for a while. So if we take a look at maybe the 8-hour chart, we can get more data, right? So let me just take off the Bollinger Band here. All right. So we can see here, if we pull a fib on Azero, I'll pull a fib from the height of this move. I'm going to say right around here, right? So all-time high was $3.12, right? Right now we're sitting on the 618 zone, which is exactly where it is right now. So there is support here. There is some support here, but I think the longer term support is around 121 for Azero. So if you're looking to grab some Azero for the long term, I would look to try to grab some or between where it is right now or the 120 area. So between those zones. And guys, keep in mind, we could break the 0.786 and we could head towards the 70-cent zone as well. Okay. So you want to keep that in mind when you're dollar cost averaging. All right. Super bullish on Azero. Bright future for that project, but it's a long-term hold. All right. Now let's take a look at Solana. Solana is one of my favorite cryptos. I missed Solana back in the day when it was trading around 15. I wasn't very interested in Solana, so I kind of missed the Solana train, but doesn't mean that train is not gonna come back around. All right. So as you can see here, I had some alerts. I'm gonna remove these alerts for the purpose of this video. We can see that Solana is sitting on support. This is critical support for Solana right now. Like, it is so critical, guys. It's so critical for Solana to hold this price point where he is right now at $77, $78. Because if he loses that, we could be looking at 60. Yeah, well, I'd say 60 and 40. So price targets for Solana are, should this support break, we could be looking at around $60 and around $40 for Solana. And if it gets really ugly, we could totally be looking at a $20 Solana. Totally possible, guys. It's totally possible. All right. May not happen. Again, just something to prepare yourself mentally for, and your dollar cost averaging strategy as well. All right. Now there was another crypto I wanted to get into. See, Apecoin. Apecoin, not a lot of data on Apecoin. All right. So let me pull a fib on Apecoin. All right. So if I pull a full fib on Apecoin, I can see that Apecoin is sitting right at support. All right. He's sitting right at support. He's sitting at the 786. All right. So where could he go should he lose that support at the 786? Well, I could totally see a $10 Apecoin. And should that break, you're looking at a $9 Apecoin. All right. Now, should that break, let me see here. We got to Dick Tracy this stuff here. Hold on. Yeah. So should that break at $9, then you could totally be looking at a sub $9 Apecoin. Yeah, around $7, $7.50. All right. So that's where I think Apecoin is going. I think Apecoin is going there. Totally. As there is more pain ahead. Now, one of my faves. Glitch protocol. Ooh, Glitch. Glitch is on a fire sale. It's totally on a fire sale, guys. As you can see here, I actually got into Glitch before I even started the YouTube channel. And I just had a little internal crypto channel. And I had called out Glitch back here. All right. So Glitch had this parabolic run like most other cryptos. Excuse me. Like most other cryptos, he had this parabolic run up near the end of the year. And he 10x'd, literally. He 10x'd. So Glitch had gone from 7 cents. Actually, that's more. Yeah, that was a bigger run. Yeah, so from August, if you got into Glitch back in August, here is your redemption. This is your second chance to get into Glitch before the next bull market, because it did a 15x, right? And Glitch is a project you definitely want to check out. I'm waiting on white paper 2.0 to do a full review for them. But right now, Glitch is sitting close to its all-time low, which is, I would say, about 13 cents. So I could totally see Glitch hitting 13 cents again. All right. So if you're been waiting to get in on some Glitch, then you may want to wait until those price points or start dollar cost averaging now into your position. But I could totally see a 14, 15 cent Glitch in the future, short term, as the market is bearish at this point in time. So that's what's going on with Glitch protocol. All right. Now, Paribus. Oh man, I love this project. I love the Paribus project. All right. Let me just remove some of these alerts. All right. So if we take a look at Paribus, we are making new lows, which is not good. Right? We're making new lows. All right. And we can see that we're now sitting at 0.0045. Okay. 0.0045. But let me try. So let me try to get some more data for us to go off of, because that's the daily. I'm just going off the dailies here. Right. So let's see if I can get that chart data. Let's try 4 hour. Okay. Well, I'm good with the 4 hour. I'm good with the 4 hour. All right. So Paribus is making new lows. It's making new lows, guys. There's no way around it. All right. It's making new lows. So we can see that Paribus is potentially headed lower. All right. We did touch 0.004, which is where I got in last week, but we could retest that. So Paribus actually hit the market when it hit KuCoin. That was the first exchange it was listed on, is my understanding. And yeah, I mean, it was in trip zeros. So it was like trip 05, and you know, it had an all-time high of 4.2 cents. And I think it will get back there. What these guys are doing with digital asset and NFT lending, right? Where you're going to be able to borrow against your NFTs and your metaverse properties and things like this. I think that this is a significant moat that Paribus has. And I don't know of any other projects that are as far along as they are. There are a few other ones I know that are trying to do the same thing, but Paribus was the first one that came to my attention. So I'm going to say that they have the first movers advantage. You guys, if you know otherwise, feel free to drop in the comments. All right. But I think that Paribus has a bright future. All right. Especially should more people leverage the Paribus platform in the future during the next bull market, or hell, maybe even the bear market. I mean, people may need to get liquidity, and they may not want to sell their NFTs or their metaverse properties, right? Why would they do that when they could borrow against it using Paribus? I mean, it's an awesome idea, and I think it's very realistic. You know, anything outside of the layer 1 for me, I always have to look at it a certain way, because there's a lot of pie in the sky ideas, right? Okay, gaming cryptos aside, there's a lot of pie in the sky ideas out there that really depend on adoption. And you could say, yeah, Deuce, well, layer 1s require the same. I say, yeah, that's true. There's a point to that. But when I look at what is in the top 10 and top 20 for cryptos, if we just look at that list, right? If we just take a look at the market and see what's in the top 10, you got Binance. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you got Binance, right? You've got Ethereum. You've got Solana. You've got XRP. You've got Luna, right? And still, even okay, you start getting into the top 20, starts getting a little murky. You got Doge, SHIB, right? But yeah, platforms that people can build off of. That's what I'm interested in. The infrastructure projects, layer 1 smart contract projects. All right. So yeah, so that is Paribus. What else do we want to take a look at? Let's take a look at Render Token, because I'm pretty bullish on that too. A couple folks in the DeFi Moneyverse Telegram group, they're pretty bullish on it as well. So honestly, without even drawing fibs, I can see that 120 is the next area of strong support for Render Token. And if he loses that, then I totally see Render Token breaking down under $1. Okay. And worst case, I can totally see it coming down to the 50-cent zone. Right. And this is the area, this 50-cent zone is the area that I actually discovered Render Token back in the day. Yeah, that was interesting, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is a pretty awesome project. All right. So yeah, those are my price targets for Render Token. All right, guys. So for Ethereum, if we take a look at Ethereum, we can see on the weekly, it looks like Ethereum wants to test the 100-day simple moving average, right? This is where Ethereum could go should he break his current support at 2,500. So 2,500 really needs to hold. If not, it'll dump $400, right? Okay. Now, if we take a look at the 2-week, we can see similar price action, right? We can see that Ethereum looks like he wants to test the 50-day simple moving average. which is right around the same area of 2150-ish. All right. So if I pull a fib, let's pull a fib. One moment. Let's pull a fib on Ethereum, and we're going to start it from March, the March low. Yeah, so that lines up perfectly, right? So yeah, we're down about 50% from our all-time high. Actually, that doesn't sound too bad for crypto, considering we tend to see anywhere between 60 and 95% on average for corrections for cryptos, right? So we can see that we're resting on this support here to a T, guys. And lower lows are definitely possible. Yeah, totally possible. All right. So I would totally look to maybe get in around 2000 to 2100 for Ethereum. If you're looking at dollar cost average in, I mean, you could start right now and just nibble. All right. I wouldn't do any aggressive buying right now. I mean, Luna is buying BTC. I did read that they just purchased BTC yesterday or day before yesterday. So we do have big wallets still buying BTC, right? So I do think that things will get worse before they get better. We just got to ride it out. Well, I'm just going to ride it out. I'm not too worried or concerned. I'm looking at this as a opportunity to position myself for the next bull market, next bullish trend, whether that be in the next 6 months where we finally bottom out and start to recover, or if it takes 12 months. But I think within the next 12 months, 12 to 18 months, Bitcoin should have bottomed. It should have found a bottom. I'm not saying that we'll see an all-time high within that time frame, but Bitcoin should have bottomed. This will be the time when literally everyone has given up on crypto and they've gotten out of the market, and not everyone, but a majority of investors. So if you just got into the market back in 2021, you know, the boat is rocking right now and you're either still on it or you jumped off of the boat. Don't jump off the boat. This is when you want to stay in it. You got to be in it to win it, you know, and this is part of crypto. There's a markup phase and there's a markdown phase for whatever those reasons are. Worldly events, economic events, however you want to phrase it. People will always, well, I think a lot of people tend to say, oh, well, you know, this or this is the reason that Bitcoin is not pumping or is dumping, right? But Bitcoin does move closely with the legacy markets. I mean, it just does. I think at some point it will decouple and kind of trade in its own little bubble, the whole crypto space, right? But don't know when that will be. But I do think that that time is coming one day, but I'm not holding my breath for it. All right. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the chart review and analysis video, and I'll be back soon. All right. Deuce Crypto out.